Quiet. Ooh, it's 6:11. He's in the cage because he had that bone, and I did not want Luna to try to maul him because she's on the prowl, and whoever goes up in that corner and does that little cutting sound, they were up there doing their little thing. And Sunday, June 2nd. Okay, so I have a quick message that I need to get delivered to the children. And God said not just the children that are 14 and under, but the children that live inside of grown people that they neglected to heal. He told me to tell you, people really ain't shit. You know those little, there used to be a game that we used to play with the children when I was at Head Start. And it's a little ball, and then the ball goes into the cup, and then you put the smallest cup on top. And then you put the next larger cup on top of that small cup. And then you sit that cup into another cup, and then you close it. Then you sit that one into another cup, and then you sit that one into another cup, and then you sit that one into another cup. I think you do it like 10 times. And God told me to tell you, it's just like that. Some people, you meet them, they have on, nice cologne. That's one of those cups. Then they have on, a nice little Rolex watch or AP, whatever. I don't really get into that crap. Then they might have on a Cuban link, right? And for the women, they might have on, I don't know. They wear Cuban links too. They wear Rolexes too. They wear nice fragrances too. The female might be wearing Yves Saint Laurent, and your guy might be wearing, I don't know, Gucci. I see Dog Daddy all the time, and I love his little Gucci jumpsuits. And I told him to send me some. I'm sure he probably sent me some, his hand-me-downs, because he don't seem to wear them over and over again too much. And the cloners, my nephew, my brother, whoever clones my phone and steals my contacts and takes over my dealings, they got those outfits and probably sold them instead of wearing them. Okay, so what I'm trying to say to you is people go through a lot to dress up. And most of the time, I'm pretty sure I'm right, the more layers that people use, the more tricks they use to layer up, that's how deep their hurt is. Now, I'm saying this to you because I used to be that girl. Fingernails and toenails had to match my outfit. My undergarments had to match my outer garments. I've never been one who really did a lot with the hair because I don't like sitting under dryers. I don't like people in my head. I don't want to sit long. So my hair has pretty much been ragamuffin my whole life, except it was, nice and thick and springy and long because I used to drink 4 to 8 glasses of carrot juice out the carrot on a daily basis. So now you're going to have to change the way that you think, because in this society, they teach you what's good is pretty and shiny. And I don't know the guy's name, but he goes around to different states tasting food. And he had a $5 creme brulee ganache-filled truffle. And then he bought a $200 truffle. And the $200 truffle probably in shipping got cracked open. The little $5 ganache truffle was delicious. And I know the brand. What's the brand? It's the people who, they have that little variety bag. They're round, and around Christmas time, your parents typically, the old school parents, they buy them and put them in the middle of the table with the Biscoff. I call them airplane crackers, Biscoff, because that's where I first learned about Biscoff, was on a Delta flight to California. I got sick as a dog when we touched down in LA. Like, that shift, Ooh, they say the time zone shift. I'm very sensitive in many ways. I had to go to the hotel and lay it down. So the whole point is when I was studying for the LSAT and even the SATs, what they'll do is instead of saying the girl went to the store to buy soda, the girl who wore the yellow dress with the blue flowers walked down the road. A butterfly flew in front of her. It was yellow. She started to chase the butterfly. When she got to the corner, the butterfly flew off to the right and she turned left to go to the store. When she got to the store, she went down to look at the ice cream, right? So they add so many details that you forget what the basic idea was, which I've already forgotten. The girl went to the store to buy what? Ice cream soda? I truly don't recall. So that was the game. So I have been that type person, and I don't know where I learned this from, but I know I learned it from somebody. It didn't just come to me organically. They said when you see people sitting in the front row, go befriend those people. People who get A's in class, go be their friend. Get at least 3 people's phone number from the front row. Call them regularly. Stop in weekly and talk to your professor. Ask them what's coming up next. What can you do to get better grades? Are there any opportunities for extra credit? This is how I made it out of college, because when you grow up in a family, which many families in my neighborhood were this way, they were struggling to pay the house note, the mortgage, to keep a roof over your head. Your family, if they were lucky enough to buy a house and you didn't have to grow up in the projects where you had to fight every day, they felt like they were doing you a solid. So here you are complaining that the kids that live in the projects get to eat, the good kind of cereal, which was the bad kind of cereal because it's got all the dyes and the artificial flavors and stuff, right? All we had was what? Tony the Tiger. If we were lucky, that meant your flakes were frosted. Other than that, there was a rooster on the cornflakes. That's Kellogg's. And that was pretty much it. And you had to get that bag of Dixie Crystal sugar and take you a couple of tablespoons and sweeten it, right? And instead of being thankful, I was ungrateful and I wanted to be like the children in the projects because my mind couldn't understand. They mama rent is $0, maybe $12, right? They ain't got no daddy at their house. Now, I had a daddy at my house, which I felt like was a disadvantage. It took me many years to realize the value of having my father there, even if he was drunk. If he was there, who was not there? Them little boys, the teenagers who didn't mind soiling, young girls by taking their virginity. Nasty niggas. And they were in my neighborhood. My daddy was known for being crazy. So they would tell the other little boys, oh, you going to go up there and you going to try to see Ava? You going to see Alba? You going to see Aileen? Oh, no. You got to wait until they come outside because they daddy crazy. And that was a blessing that they believed and knew my daddy was crazy. Because, see, my daddy knew what they wanted to do. Soil his daughters and leave them, right? So it's a blessing to have a father, even if he has some type of addiction, but he still genuinely loves you enough to say, don't do this, don't do that. He ain't trying to pimp you out to his friends. He ain't trying to himself take your virginity. It's a blessing to have a good father, even if that father has some type of addiction. Okay? If he has good intentions, that's a major blessing, little girls and young men. So if you have a father that has addictions, but he still has good intentions and seeks to protect you, you respect that man. Okay? So I'm going to just wrap up what God told me to tell you. People, for the most part, ain't shit. Stop looking up to these people because they got shiny cars, shiny shoes. You need to be trying to ask yourself, what are they covering up? Okay? That's what you need to be asking yourself. Get involved with people and it take you 10 years to find out what is inside that little ball underneath those 12 different layers of cups. And unfortunately, that's the way my life was. And I said, I don't want to be that kind of person. I'm going to look the way I feel and I'm going to dress the way I feel and I'm going to do what I want to do. And I am pretty much a country bumpkin. I want to walk around with some shorts on, a tank top, so that I can get some air. You know, I'm like 53 now, so I have to have my lymph nodes exposed so I can get air. Because it's hot up in this mug. Tampa is hot, and it's hotter than it was when I was a child. Okay? And so now, after being indoctrinated with the air conditioning, who wants to suffer? I'm trying to figure out how to get one of those little Halloween suits with the fan inside of it. And then I can take the portable generator and plug me another fan up and walk around in that mother sucker. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out some way I can walk around and wear a air conditioner, right? Where it's closed in and the air can be moving around. I'll be outside all the time. I will be outside all the time. So I I don't know too much about these terms. I've been listening and hearing them, but I don't really know what a twin flame is. I don't know. I think I know what a karmic is. Yep. I think I know what a earth angel is. Yep. But this divine masculine, divine feminine, you're supposed to be here to meet a soulmate. No, not a soulmate. Your divine counterpart. And if your divine counterpart does not want to come into union with you to do the job that God put both of us here to do together, then God will give you another divine counterpart. And that's what's happened in my situation. My divine counterpart decided he saw something shinier, prettier, puffier, lumpier, more voluptuous, and he went over that, only to find out that it was a crazy karmic. And that be that way sometime. When you do not heal the little boy, the little girl inside of you, you're looking for somebody else to give you clout, to give you shine. Instead of going inside of yourself and doing your mantras, I am strong, I am mighty, I am woman, I am God, I am a billionaire, I attract $1 billion opportunities, I am a master manifester. You have to manifest and mantra away the wounds from your childhood. And I'm pretty sure everybody walking around scarred in the inside. That's why we come back to earth, so that we can take the test again and again, pass it, graduate, and then, move on probably to another dimension. I don't know enough to say. But what I do know about shadow work. I do know about the dark nights of the soul, when the creator tries to speak to you and you don't listen, you don't obey, and he has to strip you down, that tower card, toss your ass out a three-story window and a three-story building in order to get your attention. I know about that. A lot of people don't make it. They die. And, have to wait until they can come around again. And that's if you believe in reincarnation. Many people don't. It's taken me. My throat chakra is strong. My throat chakra is free and clear. My throat chakra has angels standing guard to protect against the naysayers that want my message to be deaded. I speak strong. I speak clear. I speak God's words. Okay. So a lot of people don't make it through the dark night of the soul But if you don't, let's say, you get tossed out that window and you die. I now, at 53 years old, believe that you could be given another opportunity to come through. I don't know how long it takes to get another body and come back into Earth's schools. So that's why you children need to really take advantage of this lifetime and do your very, very best. And don't sit around wallowing in the things that have happened to you. I just had a conversation similar to this with my son. He's such a strong person. And so much witchcraft has been thrown at him since he was in my womb. Haters and naysayers of me were doing black magic against me as an activist, as a strong black single woman with, a little bit of arrogance. And then the men folk, they get into this whole conscious thing and then they want to subdue you and ride you like a horse. They need to control you. And they don't understand that nobody was put here to be controlled. That if God gave me free will, why I'm going to give my free will to you? And so a lot of us just don't even need to be trying to get married because we're not really equipped. And then we bring the children here and mess them up. And the cycle just continues. And so since my twins were in my womb, people were attacking them and trying to KILL them. And I believe even when they, were fortunate enough to make it into this realm, people have been siphoning their energy off of them. They're twins, they're Geminis. I'm not going to run it down too cool because there's some petty ass people in the world. And that's why I pray so much. Instead of them going and creating their own energy, they want to steal it from others. And I had no knowledge of these things until like a couple of years ago. I kept saying, God, I'm too brilliant to be broke. I'm too brilliant to be broke. What's going on? And I got like 10 major ticks that are siphoning off of me. And they just, they going for the ride. They living good. Now that I am reclaiming my own energy, they're mad. Can you imagine that? I want my stuff back and you're mad. Instead of saying, dang, I got a good 20 years out of that. All right, yo. All right. Peace, peace, fam. And scoot along. They're like, no, you cannot have your own energy and want to fight me for my ish. This may not make a lot of sense to you children, so let me keep it kind of simple. Hey there. Let me keep it simple for you. When you see people, I don't care how beautiful they are, and I'm going to say something that people are going to get offended by. I'm talking about your mama, your daddy, your greedy grandma. Okay, so I'm going back into my childhood. We used to say all kind of things in grade school and elementary school. I ain't got to do nothing but stay black and die. You feel froggy, jump. We had a lot of old crazy mess we used to say. So I'm talking to you about your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, your granddaddy, your aunties, your uncles. Yeah, them. Because most of the time, that be the people that do it. The ones closest to you. So, you ain't really got no friends. So we ain't going to even go there. I'm talking about them people you live in the house with who be looking at you talking about they love you. And they be working against you. Trying to keep you from, living in New York so you can live your best life because they depend on your energy in Tampa. Every time you call home and, Mom, I'm having such a great time. I got the job and, I got another job and I love it here in New York. I was in Marcus Garvey Park and I was singing and dancing to the drumming circles. There were 12 drummers and it just felt so good to my soul. And then your mama going, Aileen, come home. You see how odd and weird that is? Now, my mom, Dorothy Jean Atkins, has crossed over. And I said to her, Ma, when I come back to Tampa, I got a picket sign in my hand, the police trying to shoot me and shit. Why would you want me to come back there? She ain't say nothing. She just kept crying. Only for me to find out years later that I was the meal ticket. And so my mom is gone. I can go to her grave and talk to her. I could sit here and talk to her, but I wish she would have been honest with me when she was here. And now I think I was about to call some names. I'm still mad with Ethel Kate Fambro. That's my mother's half sister. I think she's the youngest. No, she's not the youngest of them all, but I think she is pretending to be my mother in the courts. And they got this whole fiasco that I'm the one that's crazy and we need to put her in an insane asylum so again they can take the money and the property and other material things that were left to me. Left to me by God because I'm stupid enough to obey God. When God give me dangerous missions, I'm stupid enough to say, okay, I'll do that. Okay, I'm stupid enough to be patient and wait until God raises me up. Because I realize if I raise myself up, it still don't mean nothing other than you're a target for your haters to be able to smite you. So what you want to do, children, you need to turn off the TV. Recalibrate your TikTok and YouTube settings to find out who am I? Why did God send me here? What is my assignment? And what skills do I need to prepare myself for my assignment? So what this is going to do is give you the freedom to not worry about having to get no husband. You ain't got to worry about sex now because if you're not working to make yourself whole and complete by getting a husband, you don't need to be trying to have no sex. You know, I'm saying get yourself together about 30 years old. Have you some sex then. So if you think that your body needs this attention, then you learn how to masturbate. It's okay. It is okay to bring pleasure to yourself. Now, I wish I had the strength to teach you abstinence. I believe there are people who abstain for many years and benefit from that. I just don't have that kind of confidence and faith in you that you are going to abstain. So what I'm going to tell you to do is masturbate. Go ahead and get that energy up off you. Because y'all stupid enough to go on dates with men and women and, oh, I ain't going to have sex with him. And you believe that. But if you get with one of them courageous brothers who knows that right spot and run his hands down in your pants or on the outside of your pants, there are some feelings in this world that can take your good mind and shut it down. I mean, you won't even have a thought. You'll be trying to think the right thing. You'll be trying to think of a Bible verse. But the pleasure will be so intense that your mind is completely blank. And people are not having these kind of blood raw conversations with you guys. So you think you're a strong person. You're not. You ain't no match for the kind of pleasure that exists at the hands of a skilled person. And once they hit that little spot, you can't even hear the words they saying. I mean, your legs just kind of like automatically open. You have no control. So you want to keep yourself out of those positions by masturbating before you go out into the world. You are dealing with, a high-natured period of life. You masturbate so that you can release that energy. And when you're out in the world, you can't be tempted to be alone with a man where he can rub you this way or rub you that way. And you become the master of your own body. So even when he do rub you like that, you be like, child, please, I'm the best at pleasuring myself. I don't need you. And then you can slow yourself down, work on the projects that God gives you to work on. Become your best friend, entertain yourself, learn how to be entertained by the Creator and the angels, learn how to conversate with them. And that can be your friend group. And then when the Creator sends you your divine partner, and you all are like that two souls that are just alike, and you're supposed to come together to do something for God, not come together and have babies and a family. That's bull. That's not the primary source of the union. We are here on assignment, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. But we keep trying to live in this 3D carnal mind. Oh, I'm going to have 5 kids. Yeah, we're going to get a car and 2 dogs. And that ain't what he sent you here for. You might not have no house. He might have sent you here to raise up the earth angels that are walking around in a homeless state because some witch or warlock in their family is siphoning their energy from them and doing a whole bunch of witchcraft and got several voodoo dolls of them, and they can't get from under that subjugation of magic because they don't even believe it exists. Okay? So this is much longer than I thought it was going to be, and I hope and pray that you will receive it as I mean it. I don't, need to be seen as popular or intelligent anymore. When I was in my 20s, I wanted to be seen as intelligent. And I went to school, and I have pretty much been in school ever since I started kindergarten. So if I get a little change, I'm taking a class somewhere. I have so many college credits. That's because I love learning. If somebody would drop me millions of dollars and say, hey, go get it in, I will be graduating every couple of years. They like, didn't that bitch graduate last year? Didn't that bitch graduate the year before? Didn't that bitch? Yes. Yes. She did. And she did. And she did. And she did. Yes. I'm that education heathen. I'm trying to get it all. I'm trying to get it all. You left it on the table? No problem. Yes, I'm going to go and learn CAD. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh, yes, I'm going to go and take the carpentry class. Yes, I'm going to go and take the automotive class so I can fix cars. Yes, I'm going to go to law school. Yes, I'm going to work on becoming a school psychologist. Yes, I want to be an MD, internalist. Yeah, ain't nothing but time. And my children half near grown. So I ain't got nothing to stop me. Nothing to stop me. And then we can get Club Wannabe where it's supposed to be. And so all of you all that need support because you have aspirations, but you don't have the support that you need, the backing, so that you can provide the consistency that it takes to be a good student. If your infrastructure is weak, man, please. We used to see him going off to college. Oh, yeah, I'm going to FAMU. I'm going to FSU. I'm going to Daytona, coming back pregnant. Dropped out because he was up there trying to, be all in the ladies' faces, and he forgot to go to class. Not because they didn't have the intelligence, because they didn't have the discipline, the infrastructure, and the people that cared enough to pull him and say, hey, how you doing? How you doing in your classes? You did your homework? You did your papers? You need any help? And some of them can't even eat. They ain't even got no cash. So, they around there hungry. Got to get a job and do your 12 to 16 hours. And now still, it's out of order. So we need a or since they got my idea, they're finna put up over in Fair Oaks. I think they call it a tri-generational center. I love it. Years ago, God told me, here in Tampa, all you got to do is say you're going to do something. When you say you're going to do it, they're going to send somebody else to do it because they do not want to raise you up because they don't control you. And everything in the system is about control, right? So When you meet people and they be like, what church you go to? What's your major? What school did you graduate from? They're trying to put you in the caste system, see where you fall in this invisible caste system that we live in. And since I would be considered a wild woman, nobody wants a wild woman in charge except for God. Except for God. So, the run for the school board right now, they're holding back my money because they don't want me to run for school board. Now, we already know that the political system is pretty much trumped. But if the Creator says this is who's going to be into office, He'll make that happen. So, my platform needed to get out into the air. And I've been like, God, should I just release the platform and let them take that too and run with it? And the Creator's like, no. So I don't know what the Creator has in store. So I just kind of keep it under wraps. And I'm like, okay, well, do you want me to just start knocking on doors and start working towards getting my 4,000 signatures? Do you want me to go to the bank and tell them I need to borrow $4,000 for my filing fee? And I ain't got none of that. None of that. So it's like, okay, let them rack up that karmic debt, because by preventing me from running, you keep a lot of children bound who could have been free. And that's karmic debt for you. So I think the Creator is working to get rid of the real heathens. And I'm talking about in the White House, in the courthouse, attorneys, doctors. If your soul ain't right, the Creator said in the Bible, the last will be first and the first will be last. And that's that ass. Peace.